The Yorkshire Coastcast with Paddy. Loving life in Yorkshire. The people, the places.
Hello and welcome to episode 63.
This is the coast.
Coming up, it's Fostering Fortnight, and this is a special episode in association with Fostering North Yorkshire. You might not realise it, but you might be just who they're looking for. Discover what it's really like being a foster carer. I'm Paddy Billington, and this is brought to you by This Is The Coast, the local commercial radio station for the Yorkshire coast. You can find us on DAB across much of the region, online at thisisthecoast.co.uk, and on your smart speakers on our This Is The Coast app on Roku TV as well. And this podcast is available wherever you get your podcasts from, including Spotify, Apple and YouTube, as well as our website and app. So it is Fostering Fortnight, and Fostering North Yorkshire would love to recruit more foster carers. Do you have a spare room? Do you have a little bit of time to give back? The rewards are great. The challenges are real. And that's why in this episode, we're going to talk openly about what it's really like to be a foster carer and the support that is available, which I've got to say is better than ever, especially with their new Mockingbird scheme. I've popped along to see Paul and Alison at their home in Scarborough, and they've been foster caring for decades, actually. And also, sitting on the sofa in the living room was Sophie Turton from Fostering North Yorkshire. Here's my chat, starting with Paul.
I've been foster caring 26 years now. Obviously started in 2000 with my first placement, all for the North Yorkshire Council. Currently, we've just started doing the Mockingbird scheme. We've been doing that now for nearly 3 years, me and my wife. We've fostered, probably looked after 50, 60 children within our career. We've also done background of residential care. We used to work in children's homes, so we've got a big background on that. Prior to coming into fostering, I did some sessional and voluntary work for the North Yorkshire Council disabled team, looking after kids within their own homes. And it's just grown from there. So yeah, 26 years later, and we're still fostering and still loving it.
You started doing it, and what was it like in those early days? And obviously, however it was, you've kept at it. It's not something that you've done for a brief period of your life. You've done this for a big chunk of time.
Yeah, we've done it, like you say, a quarter of a century now. But yeah, it's obviously got easier in time. The more experience you become, the easier the role becomes. You become more familiar with how the social services, how the system works. And it all just makes it you're a little bit more comfortable in working with the other professionals, because it's not just fostering. You're working with healthcare, education, CAMS. There's all sorts of other organisations that are involved that you've got to try and tap into to get the best outcomes for these kids. And the more experience you gain, the more confident you become in, as a full package, you're sort of in control of that young person to make sure they get the best needs met.
And when they come into your home, what is it you feel you can offer them more than anything? What is their experience like?
It's just a safe, secure place where there's lots of love and care. We do our best to promote family contact, if there's still family around for these young people, just to promote the family contact. Basically, we're like role models, and we've just got to sort of try and role model them to how we are, what's right, what's wrong. They come from traumatised backgrounds, a lot of these children. They just need that care and love, and that's what we hope to give.
And how rewarding is it for you?
For our first kid, we had 8 years old. He's now 34, and he's still part of our family. So that's that kid. He was a specialist child. He had lots of complex needs, health, education, some disabilities, and he went on into further education, university, and now he's a high flyer in human resources. So that's a rarity, but that is what can happen if you stick at it and give them the best you can.
My name's Sophie Turton and I'm Mockingbird Social Worker for North Yorkshire.
Explain your role then.
So my role's sectioned off into different areas really, predominantly as a supervising social worker for foster carers. So I'm there to support the likes of Paul and Alison to be able to do what they do for our young people, help them advocate for the services that their young people need to access, working alongside the children's social workers to do that. I do supervisions with Alison and Paul and other foster carers, so making sure that they have kind of space and time to reflect and their emotional needs are supported throughout that process as well. Alongside that, I work with the assessing social workers, so a big part of bringing this to light through Foster Care Fortnight is raising awareness of how to approach becoming a foster carer if you decided that's something that you're interested in. So the assessment process generally takes up to 6 months to complete, starting with someone expressing an interest in wanting to become a foster carer, an initial visit from a social worker, and then if the social worker and that foster carer want to continue, starting the Skills to Foster process, which is the training involved in becoming a foster carer.
And obviously, you'll learn so much in that 6 months or so, but obviously a lot of the learnings will happen when you start fostering as well, and that's when you might need that support.
Yeah, absolutely. Within the 6 months process, you do attend the Skills to Foster training alongside other prospective foster carers. So there's kind of opportunity to network within that, discuss different kind of situations you might come across as a foster carer, look at examples of young people, their experiences and what that might look like. But ultimately, a lot of the learning goes on once you become a foster carer as well. So within your first year of fostering, you'd kind of continue that learning and training process. But again, the supervising social workers are there to kind of guide you with what training you might need and what opportunities you want to access then as well.
And amazing to hear that over a quarter of a century, this family's been doing that, which is great for you. And it just shows just how rewarding it is, how you must be able to do so much for the people that you are fostering.
Oh, absolutely. It's a pleasure to work alongside Alison and Paul and all the other foster carers that I'm working with currently, and seeing the new foster carers coming through and knowing where they might be in another quarter of a century is why we're all here, really.
Paul mentioned the Mockingbird scheme. You can tell us a bit more about that, can't you?
Yeah, so Mockingbird's a programme that's led by the Fostering Network in the UK, and it delivers a sustainable model of foster care. It's evidence-based, so it's kind of backed by a lot of evidence that shows that with the right support and relationships, we can build what looks a bit like an extended family within our foster carers. So we're linking foster families together to create support for each other, and letting the children get to know each other and build real natural relationships between them.
Paul, you actually support other foster carers, don't you, actually? Just tell us about that.
Yeah, the Mockingbird programme, we sort of expressed an interest about 3 or 4 years ago now when this Mockingbird programme sort of began in North Yorkshire, which it was quite a few years old by the time we discovered it. And we applied to become Mockingbird Hub Home Carers, which is, we're a set of carers, me and my wife, that we support up to 8 other families, other foster carers. There could be new carers, there could be carers that have been fostering for as long as I have. But there are a collection of carers that all their children sort of come together, and we provide support, sleepovers, daycare, 24/7 calls if they need us, if there's any sort of emergencies through the evening. And we're just like a family-based community that we can just all support one another. We're sort of at the centre of the hub, but the constellation of families and satellite families that we do have then support each other. So it just becomes one extended family. And the children that are within our hub now, there's up to 18 children we can have, but we've got I think it's about 14 at the moment. They all become friends, and it's just like them. They've got extended friends because there might be children from out of county, they might not be local to one another, and they might not have any local friends, and it just sort of helps them make friends, that children from very similar backgrounds it's working. It works well, and statistics prove it works well, and we love doing it.
Let me ask you about myths, because there will be myths out there, of course, for people that don't know all the details. Just tell us about some of those myths and do a bit of myth busting for us, if you could.
Yeah, definitely. I think there are some preconceived ideas out there that just aren't true, and loads of different types of people can foster. So you can foster if you're married, if you're divorced, single, living on your own, whatever your sexuality or gender. I think historically some things kind of block people's perceptions on what we may accept or not accept as a fostering service, when in reality we need all different kinds of people to foster our young people who have all different kinds of needs themselves. I think other things that come up are you can foster if you rent your home, if you own your home. You need to have a spare bedroom and kind of space and availability to offer to a child. But how that's come about isn't what we are worried about. And also work as well. Things like if you work full-time or part-time, we can work with that. It's just about having the right amount of availability for that child's needs, so we can kind of look at that through the matching process and make sure you're in a position to meet the needs of that individual child. The most important things we're looking for are kind of your skills, the fact that you're patient and understanding of the children that you might be caring for moving forward.
What would you say to people who are thinking it sounds good, but they're still a little bit unsure? Just have a conversation with you?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd just say get in touch, put in that initial inquiry through our website. You'd then be contacted by a social worker that can have these conversations with you. You can share what your ideas are, what your worries are, and have that informal chat. If at the end of that it's not something you can or want to progress with, then that's absolutely fine. But if it is, then that's the first step in moving forward. And as Paul shared, it's something that they certainly don't regret. So make sure you're getting all of the information you need, and I encourage anyone to come forward if you're thinking about it. And
there is a real need, isn't there, for foster carers? Just give us some stats on just how much you do need foster carers. Yeah, there's definitely a need. We've currently got in North Yorkshire, we've got 443 young people who are looked after currently. And we have a huge need for all types of foster carers. So whether that be you're in a position to offer a child a full-time home, or even if it's a case of you might be able to offer support for weekends, sleepovers, and support other carers that might be able to offer that full-time home. There's a need across the board.
I just wanted to say that if you're interested in fostering, if you know other foster carers, talk to other foster carers, because we, over the years we've been fostering, we've probably introduced 2 or 3 other families who didn't think about fostering but saw us what we did and made sort of inquiries with us and how it was in real life before they went onto the process of becoming a foster carer. So if you do know the foster carers, ask them what it's like, and they will get a true reflection of what fostering's like. And if you go ahead, do it, then contact the likes of Sophie.
You can submit an expression of interest through the website. We'll make sure that the details of the website go out with this podcast so that people can follow the link, and we'll also make sure that the phone number's there, so if you wanted to call and have a chat rather than follow through the website, we'll make sure the phone number's included as well.
What drives you, Paul, to do this? What actually drives you to keep doing this?
Just the kids. You know, you've got to be focused on the kids and just think of the background where these kids come from, and don't think of what behaviours are being emitted, and just think about where they've come from. And you see it daily on the news, you know, that there's some terrible stuff going around. And these are them kids, and we're all responsible collectively. We're all corporate parents, and we all have to look after them. Similar
to Paul, in knowing how much these young people need us and need the likes of Paul and our other foster carers out there. Our foster carers can't do this alone. They need to be supported, and they need the support of their supervising social workers, myself, the Mockingbird Project, again, so supporting each other, peer supervision, and bringing all of those things together to make sure that we're providing permanency and safety for the young people we're looking after.
A big question that people ask will be about financial support, and that is available, isn't it?
It is available, and foster carers do receive financial support to care for the children within their care. However, it is very variable based on the children's needs, their age, and also the foster carer's level of experience and training. So anyone that is thinking about becoming a foster carer, I'd really urge you to make that initial contact, and that is something that the social worker starting your assessment or just having that kind of initial conversation can go through and kind of show you examples of what that might look like for the type of children that you're wanting to care for.
Paul, give us a bit more information about those hubs and how the plan is to actually grow these, because they are very useful, aren't they?
Yeah, we've currently got 4 hubs within North Yorkshire and soon to be launching the 5th hub within North Yorkshire. It's I think the first hub is now nearly 8 years old, so obviously we need more hubs. We're hoping to launch more hubs through Fostering Network, and they are a vital support network for foster carers.
One of the biggest and one of the best sort of new things to come along for foster caring, would you say?
Absolutely, yeah. We found it invaluable when we was part of the hub before we became hub home carers. It's invaluable what sort of support network you do get. Not every foster carer is within a Mockingbird hub, but the support that you get outside the hub is exactly the same as what you would get in the hub. You just get more of a personal support network when you are within the hub.
Obviously, from your vast amount of experience, you will say to people, it's not easy, but very rewarding, but there is so much more support out there now for foster carers than previously.
Yeah, it is. It's not an easy job to come into. There's a lot of learning to do, skill yourself up. But compared to what it was 25 years ago, and obviously the new Mockingbird scheme that's come about, it is easier. And the support that we do get from other foster carers as well as our fostering social workers, it does make the job a lot easier. So, yeah, it is difficult coming into this, and you will experience difficulties, but you will reap the rewards in the end. If you stick at it, gain the support, you'll reap the rewards in the end. And
for, new foster carers coming in, that support that you talk about, I mean, they could be ringing you in the middle of the night if they need support, and that phone will be answered, and that's important to get across, isn't it? Yeah, that's it. We do get phone calls, not as often through the night now because we've got quite a stable sort of constellation with Mockingbird, but we are on call 24/7. If it's just a rant, that's what we're here for. If they're having difficulty with the child, then we're here to do that. And just that extra set of ears to listen and understand, they can normally resolve an issue that they're having, themselves. They just need somebody to offload on and just ask a little bit of advice. And that's what we're about. And it can be done. And it is rewarding. That's top and bottom of it. It's a good thing to do.
Well, a big thanks to Paul and Alison for welcoming me into their home in Scarborough, and also Sophie from Fostering North Yorkshire as well. I hope that was a real insight into what it really is like being a foster carer and the support that is available. Now, it is Fostering Fortnight, and if you would like to find out more, listening to that is just the very first step. Have a conversation. You can find Fostering North Yorkshire on Facebook, facebook.com/Fostering North Yorkshire. Fostering North Yorkshire also run regular fostering information session events, which are a great way to chat with the team over a cuppa and ask any questions you might have. And the direct website link is northyorks.gov.uk/fostering. That is northyorks.gov.uk/fostering. And of course, we will put a link in the description of this podcast. There you can inquire and request more information, and you can also download a brochure as well, which is a guide to fostering. And in it, life as a foster carer, who can foster, becoming a foster carer, fostering in North Yorkshire, progressing as a foster carer, what people have told us, support and training, financial support, and information on how to contact. The 16 pages in that brochure. There's also a video, just loads and loads of very useful info. I know the lovely team at Fostering North Yorkshire are very keen to hear from you if you think this might be something for you.
The Yorkshire Coastcast, loving life in Yorkshire. The people, the places. This is The Coast.
Loving life in Yorkshire. This is the
this is episode 63 of the Yorkshire Coastcast podcast. We've just unveiled a brand new competition on our website and app. You can make your Father's Day super special by winning a prize bundle of Father's Day gifts from local businesses. Yeah, you can win all of this for your dad. A private design and make chocolate workshop for a family of 4 worth £100 at Crofts Chocolates in Scarborough. Amazing. Also, a family ticket to Eden Camp for 2 adults and up to 3 children. Fabulous. A £50 voucher to spend at Flixton Sawmill. That's brill. Also, a pair of tickets to the Barry Sheen Festival at Oliver's Mount in Scarborough, which is happening in June. That's great as well. This is also fantastic. A £50 gift voucher for Taylor's Bar and Kitchen in Scarborough, overlooking North Bay. Also, there's a £40 gift voucher for the Rosette in Scarborough. That's with Sizzling Pubs. Lovely. And, I'm not finished either, a meal for 2 and a bottle of house wine at the fabulous Lobster Shack at the Ship in Subi. The shack is fantastic. They've got amazing seafood there. Great views over Bridlington Bay as well. It's as fresh as it comes. Now, if you want to win this Father's Day prize bundle, just answer this question. In the Star Wars film, who turned out to be Luke's father? C-3PO, Jabba the Hutt, or Darth Vader? So if you think you know the answer to that, you can fill in the form. How do you find it? Just click win at thisisthecoast.co.uk. That is win at thisisthecoast.co.uk, or on the This Is The Coast app, click win in the menu. And while you're online, on our website or app, do check out our half-price voucher deals. The latest to go on sale as we record the podcast is an incredible VIP experience at Scarborough Sea Life. It's worth £250, but we've cut the price in half to just £125. This is a VIP experience for 6 of you, up to 6 of you, where you basically have the run of Sea Life, just you and your group. It's after hours. You have a VIP guided tour from an expert. You might even get a chance to feed some of the amazing creatures there as well. If you want to find out all about that and grab your voucher, once they're gone, they're gone. There's only a few available. Click vouchers at thisisthecoast.co.uk or vouchers in our menu. There's also other great deals on there too. Half-price driving lessons with Maverick Driving School. Half-price dining at Scarborough's Carousel Brewers Fair. Half-price family day tickets for Whitby Traction Engine Rally. And also Yorkshire Traction Engine Rally and the Pickering Motor Show and the Pickering Country Fair and the Pickering Vintage Fair. There's also half-price family day tickets for Askham Bryan Wildlife Park. £30 of food for just $15 at the Friendly Forester in Bridlington. Half-price family tickets for Eden Camp. Half-price family tickets for Scarborough's Alpamari Water Park. £30 of food for just $15 at the Rosette in Scarborough. You can also get £50 towards an escape room game at Mr. E Rooms for just £25. That's in Scarborough. There's half-price family tickets to Scampston War Garden and Grounds. Half-price Flamingo Land theme park and zoo admission for 2 people, just £49. There's also half-price family tickets for 4 for the Frozen show this summer at the YMCA in Scarborough. And there's also half-price family climbing wall sessions at Street Rocks and also Street Rock sessions for 2 people too. All those amazing deals there right now for you. Do check the T's and C's. All on the vouchers page at thisisthecoast.co.uk.
The Yorkshire Coastcast. The people, the places.
Well, thank you for listening to our special episode in association with Fostering North Yorkshire. Don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts from.
The Yorkshire Coastcast.
Loving